Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me. My name's Joel, and this is the O2 Drop. You're listening to your favorite Made for Adults podcast, coming from Perth, the home of Dan.
What's up?
Mark.
Hello.
And very special guests this evening. Second time on the O2 Drop, Perth's most successful VGC player, world's competitor, and good chef, Alister Sandover.
Thanks so much. Excited to be here again.
Thank you for coming on, 4 hours notice?
Very short notice. Yeah, you guys posted, hey, anyone free? And I was like, yep. And you're like, okay. And here we are.
We're like, perfect. Now we can talk about some serious stuff like Brisbane and how none of the O2 Drop.
Yeah, we don't get a shitter's perspective. We get like a day two perspective.
None of us got any points. Yeah.
I got 8 from the cup.
Let's go.
So second place at the cup and BFLs mean it was a net 8-point game.
Correct.
So most expensive points of the year so far?
Oh, yeah. The fucking sign up for the cup was $40.
It was.
That's crazy.
And it was best of one Swiss.
Oh my God.
I don't think they did best of one in Perth when they did the cup here.
I feel like they did.
I think they did, yeah.
Because I remember they did the TCG Cup. Definitely was best of one because
We don't have all day.
We don't have all day, and they were running that. They were running that cup with 2 judges for 120 people.
Oh my
so they're
God.
like, we just got to get through it.
And that's worse for TCG as well, because VGC is just like, judge, our switch is disconnected again, but then in TCG, they actively need judge calls every time there's like a dispute.
Yeah. Anytime anything doesn't go to the way that the cards are written or the game is written to be played, it's judge. So yeah, I remember Anthony saying was very exhausted after that. But I suppose we'll start with the shitter perspective. I didn't go because I applied to judge and nobody from Perth got to judge Brisbane. So
You could have gone as a player, pussy.
yeah, but
Having to pay for flights is going to be harder to convince the wife.
yeah.
True.
Yeah, for Melbourne, which I've been accepted for,
Oh, that's good.
I only have to pay for one night's accommodation because I'm going to get in a day early.
Yeah, nice.
We don't have to pay because we're staying on his couch, remember?
If you guys are getting in on Thursday, sure.
I mean, I'm getting in on Monday. Work's flying me over for a conference, and I've just asked if I can stick around for Regs.
That is perfect
Hell yeah.
timing. That
Really
is
good
big
timing,
hype. So Dan, how was your main event, the regionals?
Shit. Mark, how was yours?
I should shout out, if you're listening to us for the first time because you saw an excellent little 2-minute video on YouTube or Twitter, welcome. You guys worked extremely hard on that.
We did.
Somewhat, yeah.
The results were amazing.
I was up like late the night before and editing it on my phone so I could like drop it.
That
on
part
the
I
morning.
appreciate, yeah.
But my favorite part of it, if you haven't seen it, was we didn't put enough Mountain Dew in the pot
For Mark.
So when Mark bonked, when his face in it, you can hear him audibly smack his forehead on the pot because Ethan kept drinking it. In between takes, he was
We
drinking
did the
it out of
Mountain Dew
pot.
ice bowl for our faces to get dunked in, and Ethan just kept drinking.
Because it looks like when you did yours, Dan, you at least got like a nose.
Yeah,
in.
I got a bit wet.
Yeah.
And Mark got like a bruise on his forehead.
So good.
But yes, thanks to everyone who's listening, especially everyone who I forced to take a sticker. There was a lot of those.
Yeah, appreciate you all.
There's a few people who refused them.
That's fair.
I had some people refuse them and then realize they were for our podcast specifically and then accepted out of what I assume is pity.
After they beat you.
No, just people like around us, but they was like, it's me. Oh yeah, I'll take one then. And it's like out of politeness. So if you're giving us a pity listen, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And this is the part where we get to shit talk you when we versed you. So my run.
Your run.
Oh, I did abysmal. Yeah, it was a 3-4 weekend. Started off against John Mills, a US player who's running Wheezing
US?
Dozo.
US?
Yeah,
Wow.
US. I also versed him again the next day at the Cup, so he again didn't take a sticker. Shout out to John Mills, you dick. So I beat him. Second round was against Scott Kennedy, who went day 2, 6-3. He was running an Ice Rider team. I threw game 1, didn't know how fast his Kali I was. Betted on it would being faster than mine. It wasn't. So I was 1-1 at the time. Then who do I happen to match up against is Diego, round 3.
Round 3, Diego.
Who's running Imprison Kali I, which I'm like, well, fuck.
And you had a Kali I.
I had a Kali I
Yeah.
with all the same moves except Protect, but that wasn't going to do much. So it was, I would like to say it's close. Some things came down to like a 3-turn sleep or a double Protect. I might have won, but hey, it didn't happen. And then just lost the next one. Then I was out and tilted. So that was against Luke Blundell on Arabega. And then I was down very low tables. Got to verse Emery Joseph, who had a Life Orb Polytoad.
Fuck yes.
With a right shoes Zamazenta team. That was cool. Daniel Queck, who again I versed at the Cup the following day.
I know Daniel Quick.
Yeah,
he's been around.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Also running Kali I, and then last round was Stefan Sunny, who was running Arabega, and it was his first regional.
Very cool.
Yeah. You want me to talk about the Cup? That was a way better run.
If you want to talk about the Cup, go ahead.
The only thing
you got points.
Yeah, the only thing I have to note for that is the team check took an hour. There was a top 8 cut, and they had our switches for an hour.
What were they doing?
I don't know.
Were they first-time judges?
I think so.
Because I mean this with most respect. Like, I saw some photos of the judges, people I've never seen before, but I also, I don't frequent interstate.
Yeah,
so, like, I like the blue shirts, I recognize. I know those people, but yeah, obviously judges have to get experience at regionals level, but
yeah, some way. But yeah, it took a very long time.
I wonder if they were doing the proper Connect Online check and maybe like hotspotting took a while.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that would taken a very long time. I know Aristo had a second team sheet error because he versed Kieran day 1 and had an actual team sheet error. He lost a game on. And he had another one. Something happened, and then at the bar afterwards, people were saying it was my blood moon. I was like, bro, what? No. But yeah, no, it was good. It was a lot of fun, regardless. Mark, your run. How'd you go?
Don't ask.
Okay, Alister.
Right, I'll give the people what they want. So round 1, I was up against Luca Bradley. They were running a CSR balance team with Roaring Moon. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a Roaring Moon get taken out by an Ndidi using Struggle before.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling us
this
the
is a
story
legendary
at the
story.
venue.
Please,
It's so
good. So I had. I'm trying to remember the Pokemon I had. It was I believe Whimsicott on half health in the back with Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and Ndidi on the field. Ndidi had just been taunted by an Urshifu, which had subsequently been taken out.
Yeah.
My Ndidi had no attacking moves, so it was only struggling. The correct, and it was just up against Lucas Roaring Moon and nothing else.
Yeah.
The correct line there is hard switch Ndidi, because the Roaring Moon's on low health. So you hard switch Ndidi into Whimsicott, either Whimsicott or Calyrex get taken out there.
Yeah.
But whatever survives, the Ndidi just comes back in, clicks follow me, and whatever's alive is able to take out the Roaring Moon. However, I
You found an alternate line.
made no such switch. I protected Calyrex and struggled, dealing a very small amount of chip to the Roaring Moon.
Yeah.
They targeted the Calyrex with knockoff into the protect.
Yeah.
Second turn, it was knockoff targeted into the Calyrex again.
Yeah.
Takes out the Calyrex. Struggle. Does extra chip.
Yeah.
Next turn, Whimsicott comes back in. Goes to click Moonblast, gets outsped and gets taken out. Struggle picks up the KO.
Oh my god!
I was doing the most minute shit every single time. It really was like on low health to start with.
Yeah.
But
Were you taking more damage from the struggle than the...
Oh, yes. Struggle's like, what, 25% per swing?
Does a lot of your health.
I was doing like 2.5%.
You would have only had one more struggle in you.
Yes, yeah, genuinely.
As well. So it was definitely.
Well, I don't even think I did because the clock ran out after that turn. So I didn't take it out there and then I lost the game because I had no attacking moves.
Beautiful.
But I was able to pick up the dub that way. And that was basically the only satisfying win I had that day.
That was your only satisfying win.
No, that's not true.
I was going to say that sounds like a rough day. I mean, it's a good story.
Yeah.
Kind of. I had one other satisfying win, but it was marred a little bit, and I'll get to that one because it was at the end. Second round, I was up against James Katsaris, who is a very strong
I played
Australian
him as well,
player.
actually.
Yeah. Had a matchup that was fairly favorable for me.
Cats just missed
4-3.
top cut, right? Or just missed day two? Okay.
He beat me around 4 to be 4-0, and then unfortunately
Lost the next three.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
A bastard. That was bad for my res. And so, Kyogre Balance, I won the first game from playing reasonably well. I will say, first turn, it was Incineroar up against Okidogi and Whimsicott. I was like, I've got Terra Ghost on the Whimsicott. I've got upper hand on the Okidogi. There's no way he goes for a fake out here. Takes fake out.
Of course.
Into the Whimsicott.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then Ice Beam doubles it, takes it out. Next game, I'm like,
no way he clicks fake out.
yeah, surely he expects me to adjust because the fake out fakes out again. Third game, leads Kyogre again, except this time with Rillaboom. I was like, all right, fool me 3 times. Terra Ghost by Whimsicott.
Yeah.
He doesn't go for fake out. So that's the game. So that was round 2. Round 3, I was up against Tony Nguyen. Don't know anything about
I
him.
played him as well.
He made day 2.
Assuming it's the same Tony Nguyen. Actually, he's a former Brisbane Regional champion, if I'm not mistaken, with Haunter.
What?
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, in 2017.
Well, I feel slightly better about the loss. It was probably the hardest matchup for me. The Zamazenta team with Scarf Chi-Yu and
AVD Knight, I remember.
Yes, yeah, AVD Knight and Sash Chempao. And it's just a fucking nightmare for Calyrex Shadow.
Yeah.
Right. So I lost that one, but I played out of my fucking mind and it was close. Round 4 was up against Lucas Prince, who is a German backpacker who is in Australia for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Heard there was a regionals on, had his Switch with him and came along and played.
Amazing.
I cannot remember the team he was playing, but it was another Kyogre team, except this was more of the slightly more offensive Kyogre team with Chen Pao, Sarina, Urshifu.
It looks like Stephen Mott's Kyogre team. The penny
Sounds like
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's the one it was. I was able to win that. I made a couple of good reads. So game 1, he's like, thinks he's being clever. I've got Sunny Day on my Whimsicott. He's had Torn and Kyogre. So he thinks I'm going to go Sunny Day. Goes Rain Dance on his Torn to set the rain back up for his Kyogre to go for a Water Spout. I just don't click Sunny Day. I just click Tailwind. Hit the Kyogre before it can move.
And you beat him so hard he dropped after that.
Yeah, he dropped immediately after losing to me.
Oh, no.
It was a very decisive victory. But I mean, in fairness, right? Like he's backpacking. If he's losing out on making day 2, he's not going to play the rest. He's going to go be a fucking tourist, right?
Yeah. He's got the Gold Coast to get to.
Yeah. And he said that if he does come over to Perth, he might try to make it for a local. Because I mentioned we have them most weekends. So Lucas, if you're listening, apologies for butchering your name. Apologies for butchering your team.
Sorry, I made you drop.
I look forward to seeing you before you go back to Deutschland. Next round was, it's not a win and in. What do you call it when you're on the brink of like, you're already at X2 and you can't lose another one?
That's like sudden death almost.
Yeah, death point, whatever you call it. I was there against a bloke called Jarvis Ears, who played well. It was a Dondozo Wheezing Calyrex Shadow Rider team. I play quite well into that team. I've got a lot of good flow charts. At that particular round, my brain was turned off and I forgot what Wheezing does.
Oh, no.
So I was sitting there like, you know what's a really good lead? I'm just going to lead Whimsicott, Ogerpon, Hearthflame. I'm going to click Tailwind. I'm going to Terra the Ogerpon. I'm going to one-tap the Calyrex. It doesn't matter if it Terras or not. It's not escaping the +1 Ivy Cudgel.
Yeah.
I click the moves. Calyrex uses Astral Barrage. I was like, did I not click tail?
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, wait, fuck, Wheezing. Ogerpon lives, goes for the Cudgel. I was like, wait, why did that not kill? That's a Terra Fire plus what? Wait, it's not +1.
Yeah.
It didn't get the Ogerpon boost.
Oh, no.
Neutralizing gas.
Neutralizing fucking
brain.
gas. It's like that. Wheezing does one thing. I don't know how I forgot that.
Was it normal wheezing instead of Galarian?
No, it was Galarian. I think part of the reason I forgot it was in my mind is like, it's a poison bot, right? Like it's there to set toxic spikes, it's there to click poison gas, it's there to poison your Pokemon.
Yeah.
For when Dondozo comes in. Yeah. I was like, that's all right. I take this out and then I deal with the poison bot. I was like, oh, it's killing all my abilities. That's why it's on the team.
Yes.
So that was my round 5 and that eliminated me. Then in the next round, I went up against Kevin Liu, who was also running Kyogre.
The Tinkerton.
With the Tinkerton, which I love because I was running that in the previous Reg G, back before Worlds last year.
You also ran it with Kyogre, I remember.
Yes, I absolutely did. It's a good pairing, I think.
Yeah.
Not for Kevin, he got slaughtered. But it was also his first regionals, so shout out Kevin. 2 big dubs. Look forward to seeing you in Melbourne if you ever go. And then round 7 was against a gentleman called Matthew Barron. I got up paired. So I was at 3-3 and he was at 4-2. So if he beat me, he was into day 2.
Yeah.
I basically had nothing to play for because with my resistance, even if I did win that round,
Points was not
4-3. Like some people who went 4 wins, 3 losses made top 64.
Yeah.
But it was only about 10 of them. And then there were about 40 who didn't, right? And I knew with my slow start to the day that I was not getting points.
However, podcast Reggie Gigas.
Yeah, thank you. However,
I thought about that as well. When I had the slow start,
yeah, slow start. Unfortunately, unlike Reggie Gigas, it didn't get better. But so yeah, I had no reason to win. He had every reason to win. But I was there to play, and he was playing Zacian and Reggie Drago, and I wasn't going to let that happen. So,
let's go.
One less dog in day 2.
I showed him what the superior dog was, and it was absolutely okie dokie. So I 2-0'd him, and I saw the light leaving his eyes. As his dreams of making day 2 were crushed. But he was good about it.
$1 million, right?
I had to, like, whenever I play badly at events, I always need something to feel good about. And if
preventing somebody from making
you're like, yes, this is such
that may
a
sound bad.
You're like, don't get down paired, scrub. These things won't happen.
That may sound bad. What's worse is usually it's at a local, and that means I get paired up against a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, I'm going to teach this kid a lesson. So that's usually how I bring myself out of a slump at the end of a bad day. And gatekeeping comes in at a close second. And
then you hit the gritty on him afterwards.
Just like, here's a sticker.
I don't know. He was a nice guy. Right at the start, I kind of made a comment about like, I've got the up pair, you know, and he's just like, oh, you've got the up pair. I've got $50.
Oh, really?
And he's like, I'm kidding. I was like, there was a part of him that wasn't kidding.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And there was a part of me who was just like, $50. But no, Matthew, I am sorry. Apologies for killing your host, because I actually really like the Zacian Reggie Drago team. I never played it, but I liked the idea behind it.
It is one of my favorite memes to come out of the Reg I announcement, which we'll get to.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The one I shared.
So that was my day. Ended up positive at 4 wins, 3 losses, which was somehow the best of all the panelists who attended. Thank you. You are too kind.
2 lots of air horns.
And then I was...
No, it was only one, Dan. What are you talking about?
I was considering playing the Cup the next day, but then we went to the casino that night and I lost $65 on the roulette tables. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not paying another $40 just to lose again. Right? Like,
all the Perth people that joined did so bad. Everyone just like crashed out like, fuck this.
Yeah. I appreciated the sleep in that I got instead of going to the Cup.
That's fair.
I was going to say, shout out to Ashley, because she seemed to crash out real hard. The poor thing.
No, but she made a bunch of money on the slot
Yeah,
machines.
she was playing the pokies all night. She won.
She and I got into an argument over like gambling odds because I was saying like
Shout out to Alfie doing the fucking boomer meme.
Just living in the moment.
Not a phone insight. Just living in the moment. What she's
My favorite meme of that was of like all the boomers at the casino, and it's just like point of view, you're at a Pokemon Go tournament, and it's all them just like tapping.
So good.
But yeah, no, Ashley and I were arguing over odds and like expected returns at the casino, and I was telling her that like the pokies are by far the worst.
Yes.
And then she won like $50 and I lost all my money on the roulette tables.
See, I told you.
Yeah. I was like, she's like, no, see, the odds are better. I was like, that's not how that works. But I mean,
You got a high roll on your RNG.
Yeah, that's right. Always.
she should know about that. The odds of
Kyogre
Kyogre
player.
hitting Origin Pulse are 85%, but we all know in practice that's not true.
No, not at all.
So yeah, that was my run. Do we want to hear from a good player now? Or do
We
want to
would
move on?
love to hear from a good player. Top 16 finish at Brisbane. Did you have to play in the top 32 round?
No, I didn't.
Hey,
I
You got to
straight
buy,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, as the 8th seed.
Because it was only 4 players in the top. Was there 20 people made?
20 people,
cut?
made
Yeah.
top cut, but 12th place to 20th place had to play off for the final spots in top 16. Yeah.
Brutal. But at the same time, good not having to do the top 32 match.
Yeah.
How was your run
Yeah.
at Brisbane, Alister?
It was good. Honestly, I was going into Brisbane. I wasn't really even confident at all. My team, I didn't feel like it was a regional winning team, but
Is this kind of the world's finalist team?
it definitely looks very similar. 4 Pokemon are the same. Miraidon, Ogerpon, Halflame, Whimsicott, Shifu.
Yeah.
But I've got Incineroar and Iron Valiant was the last Techmon I put onto the team.
Oh, sorry. I'm thinking of the Ice Rider at Worlds had Valiant.
Combining the two teams
Yes,
together in your
yeah.
mind.
I
Yeah.
basically took that Valiant and replaced coaching for Protect. And the idea there was it's kind of like a catch-all Techmon, like just compressed. It can deal with fake outs with Covert Cloak Encore.
Yeah.
It can hit Raging Bolt with Spirit Break. It can block the Calyrex's bullshit. So overall, I just put that on and it actually ended up being really good. I brought it to 60% of my games on the day. And round 1, I faced Sikong Lee, I think is his name. Pretty sure he's from China. And Valiant was really good because he had a order up Earthquake Rest Talk Dondozo. So my Wide Guard Valiant could actually just sit on the field forever in front of his order up Earthquake Dondozo. As long as I keep clicking Wide Guard, he cannot touch it.
Yeah.
So what I did against him, which felt really good because I hate Dondozo, I checkmated him by uncoring him into rest. I think at first I burnt the Dozo to
negate.
debate it, make him want to rest, and then I just U-turned out into my Miraidon. I encored his rest, and because Miraidon sets the electric terrain, you can't rest when electric terrain is up. So he's just stuck on the
Standing
field,
there doing nothing.
doing nothing. That felt really good, and it was like, wow, Iron Valiant was just the perfect mon. I just happened to decide on it like as the last one, round 1. So
Nice.
yeah, that was good. Round 2 and round 3, I played against Terapagos. Round 2 was actually like a balanced Pagos with Comfy. He had Rillaboom and Wellspring, and basically what I could tell was his strategy was to block my Shifu and set up his Pagos. The key thing though was his Wellspring didn't have a grass move, so even though he could block my Surging Strikes, he couldn't do anything to my Shifu in return, except for like taunt it. I would taunt his Follow Me and then Surging Strikes, whatever's next to the Wellspring. And I think I lost game 1 on a Draco miss. First one I went for the day. I missed Draco on his Rilla. But I managed to clutch game 2 and 3. With Inci and Ashifu, Miraidon. They were all good. And then round 3, I played someone from New Zealand, Jamie. He said it was his first regional, actually, and it's crazy because like going to round 3, 2-0, he didn't even know how to open like a union circle or like, yeah. So I was like, oh, sweet. Like, it's always nice to go against someone that has a less live experience. But he gave me a run for my money. Like that matchup was actually pretty hard. I remember I lost game 1. He crit a Starstorm on my Half-Flame through light screen. He was a Specs Pargos with Flutter Chiyu. And I lost. I basically just lost because I didn't get to cudgel anything that game. And yeah, I lived in one of the next games. I just lived the Starstorm even without a light screen. So definitely mattered. Just saying. But I think it was actually super close. It was basically one call away, and at the end, I had Iron Valiant against his non-terrored Pargos locked into his Terra Starstorm and his Whimsicott. I also had my own. I also had Miraidon. So it was basically a mind game of whether I click Wide Guard and he Stellars and it becomes a spread move, or I just attack with Spirit Break and he stays in turtle like the baby form. And I got it right. I just Spirit Braked, Electro Drifted his Miraidon, his Terrapagos with my Miraidon for the win. And
nice.
I Terra Steeled my Valiant so I could 1v1 his Whimsicott, and then I was 3-0. So that was super close, and I was really happy to win that because I hate playing against Flutter Chiyu as well. There's so many things I hate playing against in Scarlet Violet.
Reg G is like that.
Yeah, Flutter Chiyu, Dondozo, Wheezing. It's all tough. So that put me at 3-0, and then I played James Katsaros, who Mark also played, as he mentioned, and I also lost to Cats. We're good mates. We haven't sent each other like our teams before the tournament.
Give me feedback. How's this going to go?
Yeah, that's it. And
give it to me straight. He specifically spec'd his Incineroar to live in Okidogi, didn't he? It lived the +1 Drain Punch both times.
No, I actually don't remember his Incineroar spread, but it's very likely he was Impish and I was Impish as well. Impish just feels really nice. Because you want to switch Incin into Kali Ice, Terra, Zamazenta, a bunch of physical things.
Yeah.
You can live a Surging Strikes if they're not Mystic Water, things like that. So it's overall quite good utility in Regulation G, especially. But of course, it depends on your team and what you wanted to do. But yeah, I like Impish for those reasons. And Cats he destroyed me, honestly. Like game 1, I think I remember like just going for Surging on his Kyogre straight away, and like even though I did a lot of damage to it, I just couldn't get past like his Rilla, Amoonguss, and Scarfishifu. And game 2, like it was only close because he missed an Origin Pulse on my Incineroar, and I still lost after that. So 3-1, not ideal, but still pretty okay with 3 rounds to go. Round 5, I think I played an Ice Rider round 5. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. Cameron Calvo or Calvo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Mark and I were reading our like matchups off our phones, and Alice is doing it all from memory, just so everyone knows.
Well, it is, fresh off a couple of days ago. But yeah, the Ice Rider player, it was easier for me because whenever they had a Chien-Pao as well, and whenever they've got a Chien-Pao, they always lead it into Miraidon. So I was like, yep, I'll just lead Incin Miraidon. I've got Helmet. I've got U-Turn as well for Sash Chien-Pao. And he led Bolt Chien-Pao. Ice Rider is hard if they've got Bolt and Landorus, but he didn't have a Landorus. So I was like, yep, it's going to be a little tricky with the Bolt, but that's okay. I caught his Double Protect turn 1 and swapped my Incin into Half-Flame, setting up a nice pin on his Bolt so I could just Terra Gleam, like not take super effective damage from his Icicle Crash, and cudgel with the Sword of Ruin, finished off the Bolt.
Nice.
Even though it's a resisted hit, yeah. And game 2, he managed to get like a Trick Room position with Bolt, Ice Rider, but my Half-Flame lived a +1 Glacial Lance, so it was able to stall the last turn and finish off his Terra Fire Ice Rider at the end, even though I was like at like 5%.
Jesus,
it was happy with that because Ice Rider, is not easy at all, as anyone who's played Regulation G would know.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of the
Fuck
big
you,
three.
Dan.
I did get fucked.
Yeah, also, he was Terrafire as well, which actually helped me because, I've got a Mystic Urshifu, so Surging did 90%, and it's an Aquajet range, so yeah, and Taunt Urshifu blocked his Amoonguss, so yeah, my preparation, even though I wasn't confident, came into play there, so that was good. So that was round 5. Round 6. Now I'm starting to forget.
Tony.
It was Tony. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, he had Zamazenta. It was actually really, really close games. The biggest factor was me not missing a Will-O-Wisp on his Dragonite, his Zamazenta. I managed to burn his Zamazenta pretty early on in both games, and managed to just not take too much damage from it. The main problem was his Dragonite because it was AV and it had Aerial Ace, so it could actually threaten Ogerpon for quite a bit of damage. And it was in a focus, so I couldn't intimidate it.
Yeah.
But managed to just hit my wisps and get the turns right. The Flutter was a real pain as well, but managed to get through that somehow.
Another Flutterfish player.
Yeah, he didn't bring Chiyu against me. He brought Zamazenta, Dragonite, Fluttermane, and Amoonguss, at least in game 2. Maybe he did the same in game 1. But yeah. So that, I think that put me at 5-1. And then round 7. So I'd already made day 2 at that point, but it's still a continuation in day 2. So you want to win the last round if possible. And I don't even remember the last round.
Ronaldo Bowls.
Oh, Reynaldo, that's right. Yeah.
So Ronaldo what?
Bowls.
So actually Ronaldo
Bowls.
He's I think
Bowls. Bowls. Bowles. Bowls.
He's from one of the Asian countries. I don't want to make any presumptions.
He's listed as Australia.
He lives in Australia. We've actually faced like 4 times in Australian regionals.
Nice.
Twice in Perth 22, once in Reg F at Melbourne 24. He had a similar version to Joe UX9's Miraidon, and because I'm AV Miraidon, I actually feel like a little bit good in the mirror because I can tank the hits better, and it's more flexible because I can change my moves and they can't. So if they lock into something like Draco into my Terra Fairy, then I get to Volt Switch out the next turn for free, things like that. And yeah, I kind of play pretty textbook as I normally do against Miraidon. And managed to just take the win 2-0. And that was the end of day 1. 7 rounds, 6-1 going into day 2. Really happy. Actually, I was staying with Kieran, Melbourne Regional Champion.
Mevlad, Melbourne Regional Champion.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, yeah.
Good friend of the show.
I hear he won Melbourne.
He finished 5-2, so he also made it to day 2. Joji was in my room and Yuki. So basically we had this powerhouse of a room. All 4 of us made day 2.
Meanwhile, we were making shitty videos.
So
this is you guys like running flow charts and drilling and stuff, and then we're just shoving our faces in bowls of mountain juice.
That's it. Yeah.
Tell me again why you made day 2 and we were like 3-4.
I don't know. Maybe I got to work on my morning routine still.
Oh yeah, true. Well, there's an instructional video for that.
Yeah.
I definitely got to take notes.
7-0.
Yeah, so I'll go 7-0 next time. Yeah. So day 1 wrapped up, and this actually became like a problem in terms of tournament organization. They released the pairings for round 8 at the end of day 1. They did this in Perth Regional this year as well.
But it was wrong for Perth.
It was wrong for Perth, and they hit it.
Yeah.
In Melbourne, they kept it. So
and they were like, "Yep, this is your pairing."
This is your pairing.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Brisbane.
Sorry, for Brisbane. Yeah. Sorry.
Too many cities.
Yeah. So
all 3 of them.
I saw my matchup, and it was a Zamazenta with no protect, body press, iron defense, wire guard, snarl. with like a Thunderous, Covert Cloak Thunderous with Scary Face. So that night, we got some food, had a bit of a drink, and then got to like prepping, and I was like, this team is just not great. Like it does. I just get to Vault Switch the Zamazenta for free. If it goes to Iron Defense, I can Encore it and it's out of game, lose its defense boost. So I didn't even like need to prep that much because, well, I just had a good matchup into it. So I wasn't too concerned. We prepped, some things, but overall, like Kieran and I were like pretty okay with our round 8s. So we wake up Sunday and execute, both win round 8. It's the game went exactly as I described just then. Encore Zamazenta game 1. Game 2, he brought Incineroar and it was a little bit tougher, but I still managed to just take it. And then I was in cut with 7-1 and my resistance. So really nice to have been thrown that bone round 8. Yeah, could have been a lot harder. And then round 9, I play Shohei. Knowing that we were both going to make cut, I was like, I'm just going to see what he does. I'm not even going to bring my usual strategy versus Arabega Miraidon. I normally bring Whimsicott, Incin, Miraidon, Ogerpon, Half-Flame. But instead of Whimsicott, I just brought Valiant just to see what it does and to see what he does and like what his spreads are like. And I actually ended up winning game 1 somehow, even though I didn't like mean to. But
you're like, I'm trying to get information and I won.
Yeah.
God damn.
Maybe it's possible he was doing the same thing as well. I can see he was furiously taking notes on like every move that like happened, like the calculations and things like that.
And you're probably one of the only Aussie players there that could read his notes as well. If you can look over.
Yeah, that's actually true.
He's just writing a note. This fucking guy in Japanese.
Alister, sad face.
That's probably what I would have seen if I actually did see. Yeah. But then he won game 2 and 3, but I didn't really like mind because we were both guaranteed cut regardless. So I got in as the 8th seed.
I've just had a look at Shohei's run and he ran into like some of the biggest name Aussies like on the way. He lost to Henry Rich in round 2. Won against Mitch Kendrick in round 7. Yourself in round 9, Scott Kennedy round 8, and then to make it through to the top 4.
We don't talk about this.
He took out Kuro, who is an honorary West Aussie, and then Kieran, and then it was Diego.
Yeah.
So like just running in constantly to the biggest Aussies. So thank God one of us got it done.
That's a very stacked schedule, actually. Way harder than mine, I would say. If I faced Henry, I don't think I could have won. That Koraidon team is a demon, and my team's not very good into Koraidon. Definitely grateful for my matchups that day. Probably the only reason I managed to get so far, in all honesty, but I'll take it. Then I had a bit of a break because they had the playoffs for top 16. I was in as the 8th seed. I already saw the 9th seed, and he had Calyrex, Weezing, Tundozo.
A filthy looking team.
Broken stuff. I talked a lot with Peter about the matchup, actually. We had some like ideas about using Valiant, Incin, and just trying to like play from there. And then I think I just like stepped outside for a bit and thought, I did like a damage calc and I realized actually my Shifu can live an Astral Barrage or an Expanding Force if I Terra, if terrain's not up. So I can just go Whimsicott, a Shifu, and try to play from there. Like if he leads CSR, I thresh an immediate KO on it, which just it basically wins the game. I get to kill it before it does anything. So we go into game 1. I'm playing Shi Cheng Pan from China. I even said to him, "Oh, from China," and he said, "Oh, like as of 5 years ago or something like that." So I guess he's a Chinese player that's moved here for a fair bit of time. And he leads Weezing Dozo game 1. I lead Whimsicott Shifu, and I helping hand Terra Surging Strikes into his Weezing. he protects Dozo and not wheezing, and I just Oko the wheezing, and it just snowballed from there. He couldn't keep up. Like he brought Calyrex in the next turn, and I just Tailwind Surging Strike that and took it out, and it was over. Game 2, he led in DD Calyrex, and this time, he made like a really aggressive play, and I didn't call him. He didn't protect to Calyrex in front of my Miraidon, which had terrain up. So I basically ate a helping hand barrage. So my Miraidon was really low, and I just didn't have enough resources left in the tank to deal with his Dozo at the end.
Yeah.
And then game 3, I went for he led Dozo wheezing like he did game 1, and I went for the same player because it's that, that bullshit where I'm not going to do the same thing
flip,
again. But I was like, I'm going to do the same thing again, and he did call it. So I was surging into thin air because his Tatsu came in, got eaten up.
Bullshit interaction.
Yeah. It's so infuriating. Like these guesses. But yeah, he got me. I even still had a chance to win it at the end. And well, I didn't take it. He got the better of me, and I lost in top 16. If I won that, it would have been an extra 120 CP. So TVCI, please fix the CP.
Iron out the CP a little bit.
That is a huge jump for one game.
Yeah, for one best of 3.
And I can't remember the numbers exactly, but is top 16 like no prize money, and then top 8 was
top
prize
16 has $750 prize money.
Yeah,
and then
top 8's
$1,000. $1,000. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
it should be that percentage of difference points.
For points as well.
And an extra 30% points instead of doubling or whatever it does.
Yeah, plus 120 is like plus 80%.
I think top 16 is 100 or 110. Is that
it's
right?
160 actually.
160, yeah.
And then top 8 is 280.
Yeah, so it's 70% bump, 75%
really
bump.
bumped up the CP rewards for regionals, especially for like top 8 and up.
Yeah. So that knocked me out. Of course, it sucks to miss out on the CP, but considering my preparation and my confidence going into it, I was still walking away happy. I'm still in a good spot to get Worlds, assuming I do okay in Melbourne. That's my run, more or less.
Nice. And you got to day 2 on time, unlike some people from the fun run that was happening.
Oh, Peter told me about that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Just all of a sudden a fun run blocking off the exhibition centre.
There was a bunch of like rows that were closed off with like the
army run.
Yeah, thankfully my accommodation was on like the other side of South Bank, so I had no idea. But far out, that's
everyone was sitting down when I was there, like ready to watch. I'm like, wait, where's Peter? Because like his chair was him. He's like, I'm coming, and then
he's like, I'm stuck in the fun run.
And he had to verse a Rabska when he got in as well. So.
And he lost to it. Yeah.
He did. Man, that's a hard matchup though for Hard Trick Room. It's a really funny interaction. Speed swap, Revival Blessing, Telepathy, so he can discharge next to it, like
crazy stuff, and then become the slowest thing on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Mental stuff. Now, Chris would be very sad if we didn't discuss his favorite player in Australia.
Himself.
Which one? Apart from himself, who was in Japan.
Daniel Walker.
Okay, so not the winner, Diego?
No. Oh, you're right. His second favorite player.
Not Alister.
You're right. He's third.
Himself.
No, you got some information on Daniel Walker's wild build.
We did, at the airport.
I'll just run through it really quickly because it's a traditional Daniel Walker bullshit. So Electric Seed Miraidon, Parabolic Charge, Dragon Pulse, Calm Mind Protect, Citrus Berry, Galar, Wheezing, Acid Spray, Will-O-Wisps, Toxic Spikes, Protect, Sash, Rapid Strike with the usual, Surging Strikes, Aquajet, Detect, and Reversal. Covert Cloak, Tornadus, Bleak Wind, Tailwind, Taunt, and Rain Dance. AV in Sin with Flare Blitz, Snarl, U-Turn, Fake Out, and then a Choice Scarf, Goldengo. Make It Rain, Shadow Ball, Steel Beam, and Trick.
Classic Walker.
That's actually Daniel Walker.
Never change.
Now, Reversal, a very interesting move to have on an Urshifu.
On an Urshifu, yeah.
What?
Just reversal.
What? So
Kieran,
I think it's the lower your HP, the more powerful reversal is.
yeah, that's right.
So-
It's 200 base power if you're
If you're on 1 HP.
If you're on 1 HP.
Holy
yeah. Kieran
shit.
actually did a pop quiz in our room on Walker's like a Shifu move, and
Yeah.
we guessed so many things and we didn't get it.
Yeah, did he bet like Joji like $50? Could he name the last move or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Reversal was like, that's one of the moves I thought had been dexited along with like frustration.
You would think so, because you never see it in VGC.
No.
But yeah, like I said, we sat down with him at the airport and he was going over it. So it was 15 special defense IVs. So we can leak this now since he's posted his open paste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naughty nature. So, which is
Once again, what?
negative special defense nature.
What? Okay.
So the basics of it is it's focus sash. You can parabolic charge, do damage with him right on. You get brought down a sash. Cool. You can Oko something with reversal.
Gotcha.
If they switch in a Rillaboom, the parabolic charge does the enough damage to bring you like, I think, couple % over your focus sash.
Okay.
But enough that it Okos a Rillaboom.
It's so specific. Jesus.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
Like you said, it's optimized to hit yourself. Only something Daniel Walker could build and pilot.
Is it a...
The Calm Mind on Miraidon, that feels wild.
That's not uncommon.
That's pretty-
Carmine
yeah.
Parabolic Charge is a Miraidon set that sees play.
Yeah.
I came up against one of them at Brizzy, I think.
I think I saw a parabolic charge build really early Reg G part 1. Like, I wasn't very good with it, but
It's a thing, yeah. It's around, but definitely not on Aravega Miraidon level at all.
No.
But still very funny.
yeah. And then the toolbox of wheezing, pretty standard, but Goldango into Reg G seems out there
Yeah.
in general.
He was telling us like about what it comes into Kali Shadow, how it can live if you Terra.
Yeah.
But he took away some special attack to add to bulk, and if he didn't, he would have killed Diego's Ursaluna, which kept him out of, progressing further in the tournament.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, finished with a top 32 finish.
yeah.
Why I always say run 252, 252.
And then
Otherwise you'll be crying when you miss those breakpoints.
and then as he was explaining all this to us, his name got called over the intercom because he was past boarding.
Yeah. It's like,
Wait, what? And his gate was miles away, so we actually had to start sprinting to his gate.
we were talking about his insane team, and we hear the speaker saying, "Last call for boarding, Daniel Walker." And we just burst into laughter. Because of course he is going to miss his flight.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I didn't hear that because I was at the airport at about the same time.
Yeah.
He was at like gate 30 odd as well to go back home, so he had to sprint.
And he was so confident on his flight time as well. Like, he got his laptop and was charging it and everything, and then got called. So
Classic Walker.
Yeah.
But yes, Brisbane was taken out by friend of the show, all round pretty well loved by us here, Diego Ferreira. Took it out with his typical style of building where he ran 1 protect.
Huge.
Huge.
What, he had 2 this time?
No, it was just
one.
the
It was on the
Ursaluna.
Ursaluna.
Just the
Yeah.
Ursaluna, because imprison on his Calyrex.
Yeah, that one I knew.
Sucker.
Yep. Get fucked.
Honestly.
Good on him.
I hate Calyrex Ice Rider. I'm so glad Diego's doing that.
So he ran Ursaluna Guts with the Flame Orb, AV Raging Bolt, Ogerpon Teal with Sash, in DDF Psychic Seed, Calyrex Ice Clamulet, and Charcoal Torkoal.
I really like Focus Sash Teal Pond because it very much is just like build your own corner pond.
Yeah.
Mm.
Build
Yeah.
It's like when you want to run Cornerstone Ogre Pond, but you fucking hate rock types.
And intimidate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He had Taunt as well. It was very annoying.
What was the set?
Woodhammer, Knockoff, Follow Me, and Taunt on his Ogerpon Teal.
Warhammer seems so weird when you're running Focus Sash, right? Like, surely just run Ivy Cudgel.
I feel like that build is more focused around taunting and knocking off than damaging. It's like a support Ogerpon
Sure.
Teal. It's what it feels like.
I mean, I'd imagine so with it. So it didn't have Follow Me?
It did have Follow Me.
Oh, no Protect.
No
Oh,
protect.
of course it.
Nothing has
Diego.
protect on his team.
This is Diego. So Round one of the day, he lost to Jim Sullivan.
Round one
loss,
Damn.
Yeah.
Then he took out Jack Priestland, our very own Daniel Baguli, our very own Timothy Nurse.
Boo.
Then he lost to David Schuttler and then picked up wins against Andy Brophy and James Black. And then day two, he had to win through. So he took out Tony Nguyen and Yov Reuven.
Wow, he really clutched. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? Like 2-2 to 7-2?
Yeah.
3-2.
3-2 to 7-2. still.
3-2, yeah.
Yeah, really good run.
And then, took out Daniel Walker in top 32, took out Joji in top 16, took out Zhisheng Pang in top 8.
That's who I lost to.
Took out Shohei Kimura in top 4, which is huge.
Actually huge.
Very huge. And then, in the finals beat Josh Sutherland Smith, who we got to interview for a few minutes, who made second place on his first ever regs, which is
Second place on his regional debut.
Yeah.
And 16 years old as well.
Yeah, we couldn't even tell him to subscribe because he's not old enough.
Literally.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to interview you, but you can't listen to us because we target this
made for
18-year-olds.
He can check out the YouTube. He can watch the shorts.
But yeah, shout out to Ashley Coe, his friend, also a Perth local who helped coax him into the interview. So that was nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I appreciate
Good
you,
stuff,
Ashley.
Yeah.
Ashley is old enough to be listening
Yes, she is.
recently.
Obviously, she was at the pokey, so
Yeah.
she was let in.
Not a phone inside.
No.
Just living life in the moment.
And shout out to Kai as well because he recorded a couple of the last games of the finals.
What, just like a bootleg on his phone over the shoulder?
Bootleg, yeah. Diego and Shohei's one was uploaded, as was the final.
Yeah. We love a bootleg stream.
Since TPCI hates Oceania.
And
It's not that. It's that ESL wants it to be community streams.
ESL is greedy. What do you want me to
We
say?
need at least like a side TV to watch it.
Yeah.
At the moment, everyone's huddling around. So
Especially
two
how
little
hard it is
switches.
because the judges always come through saying, guys, you need to move out of the walkways. You got to huddle in. And then we huddle in. It's like, guys, you got to stop crowding the players. You got to move out of this walkway into the main area. And it's like, you got to move out of the main area because this is the main thoroughfare. You got to move in. And it's just,
We had a projector in the Duxton basement. They
they can do it.
something.
I was saying while watching to one of the other players, I was like, we do screens and recordings at Perth locals, right? Like it's not that hard to set up.
No.
Right?
No, it's just the internet in those venues and stuff like that. But nothing set in stone yet. But
It doesn't even need to be a stream. Like,
No.
can we just get a screen?
a screen, yeah. 100%. I mean, there are screens. There were screens at Perth. I assume there's screens at Brisbane where they had all the information about this hive and
The
these.
information,
Yeah, just plug one of those into a
that's
dock.
it. That's it. That's
You
it.
see, the showcase ones and like all the international ones.
Big internets. Yeah. Look, nothing is locked in stone yet, but if Perth has a regionals next year, there should be, at minimum, side streams.
That's good.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing
Any
is,
information you want to share, Joel?
nothing is set in stone, but there are.
Where are you getting this intel,
Where'd you
Joel?
get $5,000 from?
I didn't get 5K.
Oh.
There is a dedicated group of people in Perth, including 2 people from this podcast, who are trying to make a stream happen for Perth Regionals.
Ooh.
Oh, your sugar daddy. Your other sugar daddy.
Yeah, I was going to say which one. You
The casting sugar daddy.
Shout out to some subscribers that I see who made day 2. Robert Chen. No, Robert Chen's not a subscriber, but he's a Perth local.
Should be.
Fuck Robert Chen.
He was the worst day 2 finishers.
Hey, he made day
He made day 2.
Day two.
So
Good on him.
shout out to Dr. Rob. Tobo finished top 64 on day 2 as well.
Let's go.
His winning in was against Oliver as well.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oliver
Regional
Ramsey,
champion.
Perth
Yeah.
regional champion.
Yeah.
Peter Vowles top 32 with his Necrozma, which I think is the only Necrozma in top 64.
That's why
Most
it's on the
likely.
graphic for day 2 usage. Thanks, Peter.
Let's go, Peter.
I
I will say, though, that team is a fucker to get around. I have such a hard time with it.
Oh, everyone in Perth does. Like, he's brought it to so many locals and he's just so good with it.
Yeah.
So is Masayoshi back, or did he just come for the regionals to continue getting points?
He came back for the regionals to continue getting points.
Nice, yeah. It's a shame he's not here anymore. Chill dude.
But yeah, there was 5 guys again, if we do count Kuro.
Yeah, five guys from Perth in day 2. Kieran, Alister, Kuro, Rob, and Peter.
It was crazy, though, how many really high-level players in Australia went 4-3 and missed day 2.
Yeah. I think from the picture I saw of the standings, like the first 3 in like the 4-3 bracket were like extremely well known.
It was Katz, Dim,
yeah,
and
Katz,
I forget
Dim.
the third.
Henry Rich as well, or did he make day 2?
He made day 2.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a couple of others
He was
as well.
like
I think.
actually.
Shit, that's pretty good. Kendrick as well, I think.
Kendrick made day 2.
Made day 2, yeah.
Mark Murray.
Yeah.
That's some big names.
Biggest names in 4-3. So Pokemon on April Fool's Day, when we're recording, has given us a tidbit for what Reg Eye is going to be, and they've announced that it's going to be the GS Cup.
Yeah. So I can't wait till tomorrow when they say, lol, that was actually an April Fool's. It's going to be a bands format for Worlds.
No.
Yeah, you can see it happening. So the speculation is over. Worlds looks like it's going to be a double restricted format.
Well, it's I've been saying this for months, and I've had so many people saying, oh, it might not be. But no, of course
I thought it might not be, actually.
I still know what's going to happen after Worlds now. What are they going to do for a whole nother year?
Well, we're going back to Reg G again.
I think
Reg G part 3.
I mean, 2026 remains to be seen. Obviously, we have 3 months where we don't have any events.
Yeah.
Between NAIC and Worlds, basically. There's no locals for VG. I think Go and TCG still get cups and challenges from July.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Go.
Yeah.
Why are they letting Go play and not us?
Because Go's not getting a new game.
Ooh.
We're not getting a new game.
No.
Champions?
This is my like.
Y'all need to stop theorizing that a game that was revealed 3 weeks ago.
I don't believe
and
it
didn't even
fully.
have finalized graphics to show on the trailer. We're not getting that game this year.
Game Freak really likes to release half-baked games.
That's true. And that's why we're going to get a half-baked Z to A, but we're not getting...
No, I think Z
Champions.
to A should be finished. But
finished by Game Freak standards, sure.
So why would VGC have a 3-month break while all the other games are only having a 1-month break?
Because they fucking hate us, Joel. Have you been paying attention?
I'm actually kind of with Joel on this because we had a break before Scarlet and Violet, if you remember, after 22 Worlds.
Yeah, but to be honest, I didn't realize the other 2 weren't getting a break during that time.
No, they're not. So they are just June for TCG and Go so that they can get invites done, whereas VGC doesn't have the first 2 months of the 2026 season.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, so the break's after Worlds. Gotcha. Okay.
No, because remember the season finishes after NAIC.
Oh, okay. No, okay.
So day 1 of 2026 season is the 1st of July, which TCG and Go can have cups and challenges that they're doing.
For the following season.
For the 2026 season.
Yeah.
So either, I don't know what the date on ZA is yet, but they've announced that there's going to be that whole battle ladder that you have to climb. You have to go from rank Z to A.
We found out where the name comes from.
Yeah. Is that going to have a fully fledged battle system, or are they pushing champions after Worlds?
Well, no, because they showed us the battle method for, like, on the Nintendo Direct, they showed us a battle method for the Z to A battles, and it's not Pokemon battling. Like,
I don't recall that part, but yeah,
was like physically running around and trying to
you're
dodge
like controlling the Pokemon and dodging.
Fuck, that'd be funny if that's Worlds next year.
Man. I mean, they may as fucking well.
Run and dodge singles.
Yeah. I've been saying for years, dodging is a skill issue, and now it's literally going to be one.
They're like, no, we actually wanted you VGC players to be playing Go for the whole time, so now you don't have a break to do anything. You've got to run and dodge and aim. My spicy thought is that they're going to push champions out after Worlds. It'll be closing ceremony announcement coming out in 2 days. Champions,
and you'll get to play that at Worlds, which will be at the US for the next 7 years.
Yeah,
I'm way too pessimistic.
I half believe that, and I half believe it's just we don't know what fucking format to run next.
Yeah.
So,
Like, what are we going to do? Play Reg I again next year?
Reg I for 10 months.
Yeah.
Bring back Reg F.
We're
please.
surely going to get a mythical format at some point.
I think we will.
But
Yeah.
a mythical format has never been
Worlds.
entitled for CP even.
Really?
No, yeah, the last time we got a mythical format was right after Worlds, and it was during like a...
Yeah, it was during that no event period.
Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they're out of ideas, right? They've got to do something. We
Yeah.
probably will get a bands format at some point
We
as
haven't
well.
had band format in Scavvy.
And yeah, they may roll back either like Reg F or Reg H or one of those.
Reg F
Right.
would be dope. I think the most fun I've had since game launch was in Reg F
Reg F was the best,
from
in my opinion.
from a personal perspective.
And I think that's a pretty commonly held
Yeah.
opinion.
You were pretty locked in Reg F, weren't you?
Reg F I was okay.
Oh no, that was one where you're like, oh, this
That,
kind of
I
doesn't
still,
gel.
yeah, I wasn't like, I think that's when my results started to dip. But I think it's still an enjoyable format, especially compared to Reg G.
yeah.
A series 1 with like the expanded dexes would be cool as well.
Yeah.
Because we got the DLCs that we didn't get to use for that. So all the low level shit.
That would
Wouldn't that
be
be Reg
Reg
Basically
H.
Reg H, right?
Ah,
Yeah, but like,
Or are you thinking be more restrictive on
Yeah.
the pool?
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't have like, Tornadoes and shit in there.
Reg H didn't have Tornadoes.
No legendaries in Reg H.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's been so long, I can't remember.
It's been like 3 months, man.
But
No home compatibility.
no home compatibility.
That works. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It would
Yeah.
be cool.
DLCs, but no Urshifu.
Yeah.
No Rillaboom.
That's what I
I'm
meant.
on board.
Barcelona.
It would be cool, yeah. Like Reg A / Series 1 with the expanded
Yeah.
move decks
Yes.
would be cool.
Rillaboom you can catch, so it'll still be there. Fuck, so an Incineroar. Never mind. Ignore that.
Ugh.
But yeah, so Reg I is the double restricteds. I've done a little bit of digging into early Reg I speculation events that were on Limitless. And the top pairings from these that I've seen have been Zamazenta with a horse, Miraidon with a horse,
Yep.
Miraidon with a fish. So being Kyogre.
Yep.
And then I saw one which was it wasn't both Callies. There's
Yeah, good luck.
sorry, Lunala and Terrapagos was the other common top 8
Interesting.
pairings.
I'll do you one better. I already made a nerd spreadsheet for my own benefit that
Nice.
took all of the Reg I tournaments from this month, and I got the pastes for them, so I know
Nice.
all of them.
Wow.
I'll quickly run them out.
Do it.
Miraidon, Kali-I, Miraidon, Groudon, Calyrex, Shadow, Zam, Miraidon, Kali-I, Kali Shadow Zam, Kali Shadow Zam, Koraidon Zam, Miraidon, Kali-I, Kali Shadow Zam, Kali Shadow Zam, Zam Lunala, Lunala Koraidon, Kali Shadow Zam, Koraidon Shadow Rider, Kali Shadow Zam.
We're going to need an acronym for Kali Shadow Zam,
Yes, yeah.
given this usage.
Kelly Shield.
Kali
Gay
Shadow
Shield,
Zam, pretty
Whatever
good.
Cali Shield.
Yeah, that's
Kelly
pretty good.
Shield Rider.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Shield Rider.
Yeah, Shield Rider.
That would be good.
It doesn't differentiate from Ice Rider though.
You could be like C
Shadow Shield.
Shadow Shield, Ice Shield, Zam with a horse. So we I did see one that was hype for me, which was Calyrex, Ice Rider, and Palkia. And I was like, yeah,
Your boy.
Palkia-Rex.
22.
That's my boy. Yeah. But no, we were hoping for a large amount of diversity, and it seems like we were like, double restricted will let us do so much, and early results are never indicative of how a format
I was gonna
finishes,
say-
but
Early results always tend to utilize what was previously good because people
Yep.
carry that over and just kind of add new shit. Within about a month or two, we'll find out what's actually good.
yeah.
And fingers crossed Zamazenta drops off the face of the planet because Jesus Christ, I hate it. It probably won't though. I think it's got better.
Yeah, especially
in Reg I.
yeah, body press just makes it so oppressive, and it gets wide guard. And
Body press makes it so strong, and wide guard and double restricted is just
Yeah.
painful.
Every second restricted is basically throwing out spread moves.
Yeah.
What have we've got? I mean, we've got both horses,
Both horses.
Kyogre, Miraidon to some extent.
Groudon,
Yeah, Groudon.
Terrapagos.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. It's kind of a sludge wave. I was toying today earlier with the idea of Eternatus Sludge Wave next to Dialga, and they both get pressure.
Double stack pressure.
That's why you asked us pressure stack.
Burning through your PP. I'm going to make that team. I'm going to call it gonorrhea.
I mean, if they don't PP up like Glacial Lance, it's like 2 and it's done.
It's actually pretty deadly.
Yeah.
That is what
Did either of them get spite? Hang on a second.
use Giratina.
True.
Yeah, Precious, right. I dislike that about the horses, just from like mechanically in game. If you want to switch which one you're using, you got to PP max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
Good thing I
just
never
like-
use the Ice Rider.
Yeah. Just like burning through to swap around.
Yeah, and they don't... Is PP Max even a thing in this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
You get it from like 7 stars and
Okay,
stuff like that, I think.
Or your mate when they trade you a mon and it's holding it.
Yeah. Yeah, when your mate sends you a deli bird.
Yeah.
That was a special gift.
I was getting my team ready for Brisbane though, and it really shits me how when you're PPing up a mon, you've got to do it once and then go back and do it again. You can't just like, how many would you like to use?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Like you have to do it
It's
once
like
and then
only
do it
for
again
PP up.
and then do it again.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is
Because you can do it for the
you can do it
feathers
for the
and
others,
the
yeah.
vitamins and all that kind of thing.
They're like, we don't want you to make a mistake with your PP ups. I'd laugh if it's a programming thing where it just would, if you're allowed to select any like 1 to 3, they'd have to make you be able to select 1 through to X.
Yeah.
And then they just like slack on coding.
That'd probably have some issues and like you'd be able to feed it like 10 in a go or something. Yeah. How many PP ups would you like to give it? 25.
I would like 72 glacial lands, please.
Don't give them that idea. Your double pressure strategy will never come to fruition.
True.
But Miraidon Groudon sounds interesting. That's obviously some discharge, parabolic charge. Don.
Yeah.
Miraidon.
I think it's just funny because you can put a Chi-Yu with it and now it's a Chi-Yu and Sun next to a Miraidon. So it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I did see one which was just literally Koraidon and Miraidon. It didn't do well, but it's just like
I do want to cook with that though, because that's going to be the most lethal Raging Bolt. It's Rising Voltage and Sun.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
If you're running
you there as well.
Ooh.
Yes, yeah.
If you're running into somebody that's not using weather,
Yeah.
yeah, or no
I mean, to be
terrain.
fair, if you run into someone with no weather control and no terrain control, chances are you're at bottom tables.
Yes. The home of the O2 drop.
Well,
Yeah.
Calidale Zamazenta doesn't have weather or terrain
A
control.
lot of them run Rilla,
I
don't they?
guess they probably have Rilla. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. No weather control though.
No. Yeah. Weather control's less common, but terrain control is fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I do love the names that come out of the double restricted formats. Did you guys see Moon?
Hold on, let me see if I can get this. So
Yeah.
Lunala,
Yep.
Cresselia,
Yep.
Roaring Moon,
Yep.
You're on a roll.
Blood Moon.
No.
Oh shit.
That'd be a good guess though. Yeah.
Maybe it was, but
Umbreon would be in there.
no.
Oh,
Not this particular one, but it could
Wait, did you
be.
even say 2 restricteds?
It does have 2, and you haven't said the other one.
What's the other? It doesn't have Dawn Wings as well, does
Yes.
it?
Oh my god.
Why? They're basically the same Pokemon.
one slower than the other.
And the last was like a Clefairy.
Okay, yeah, Clefairy was my next guess.
Moon.
That's great. It should have been a Blood Moon though.
Yeah, I agree. I also saw like it was like Don or something.
Don is what we've
Yeah.
discussed previously. It's like Groudon, Koraidon,
Gastrodon.
Gastrodon, Dondozo.
Wasn't one of them done, just like thrown into Dunsparce? Or what was it? Or was there the 6 Dons?
The Dons plus.
Don,
No,
Don.
there's
Don,
other
Don,
Dons
Don.
as well. I can't think of them right now.
But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to cook with.
Bastiodon.
Bastida. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right. I feel like I'm just going to steal Miraidon with a horse.
I did that.
I might do that. Yeah.
Because I've just got them built. Shout out to Alfie who thinks he's cooking, but that team's already built, dude. You can throw Iron Bundle on it, but
He was cooking. He was just like, I'm going to run Magnezone because it resists everything that like Calyrex Ice and Miraidon can throw at it. And then I think you also was like, what about high horsepower?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it should get Levitate.
But then close combat. Like,
yeah.
Close combat's kind of picking up on CIR, isn't it?
it
Because
is.
I feel like it
Mark
used to be
Kelch
like, yeah.
Because some people run in prison, Kelly.
Some people.
Yeah.
Imagine then running in prison with close combat. So like it becomes
No trick room.
So what are good people cooking with early?
Oh,
Alister?
I haven't really. I mean, it was only announced today. I just played like a few games, and the things I faced were Shadow Riders, Amazinta. I faced a Miraidon, Groudon as well.
Yeah.
I think one thing I could bring up is Yuyatada made like a tier list for Regulation I.
Yeah.
And basically what I remember is Shadow Riders Amazinta is good. Everything else is like bad. Like he said like Kyogre, Groudon are not good. He also said Miraidon, Kali Ice is not good.
Interesting.
Which is definitely going against, the common opinion. That's definitely a standout duo for most people, I imagine.
A lot of people just think it's going to be the new Arabago, right? Right on Kali Ice.
Yeah. But the thing is like what we're doing now, week 1, is we're just changing one Pokemon for a second restricted. But we're going to realize, and we already know it's not going to work because you have to look at a restricted pair holistically and how it comes together with the rest of the team. Which, we'll do our testing and figure these things out over the coming weeks. And who knows, maybe a new duo that wasn't really thought of. I mean, everyone's thought of like every possible duo, I'm sure, but that maybe something that's a bit overlooked will come to prominence, just like Palkia, Calyrex Ice did in 22. Like no one really thought about that at the beginning. Everyone was all, Zacian Kyogre, Zacian Groudon.
That was very late into Series 12, wasn't it? Like within like the last few events before Worlds is when that
I think
rose to prominence.
Yeah, in the West it was definitely later, but Maluka got like top 3 in the first GC of that year with it. I think in like February, as well as a couple of other Japanese players, but that otherwise hardly anyone was using it to my knowledge.
I did see Topo's like, I'm a psychopath on Twitter, and he's got all of these random mons with 0 speed IVs. One of them was Palkia, so he's ready.
I have a really old like 4 speed IV Palkia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from like my first run through with Pearl.
Do you have it as like the Sinnoh champion?
I think I do, yeah. Yeah,
that's always such a good flex.
Yeah, when you're like, look at the old Pokemon I have.
I versed a Grunin on the GC, and it was like the Hoenn champion. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
That's sick. Yeah.
You're like, yes.
Yeah.
No, it'll be interesting for sure. Like there's so much development to come, and because we know it for a month and people are going to be running Reg-I events online. We have a full 4 months before Worlds month of this. So I'm sure, just like we did last year, we're going to see rapid developments in the weeks leading up to Worlds.
Oh yeah.
But
NAIC always the one to watch because that gives you a really good idea.
Gives you a good idea of what's not going to win Worlds. It's a tradition. I remember in former GS Cups where Xerneas is the big dog. Or deer, I guess. we would always say like Xerneas will win NAIC, but it won't win Worlds. And
barely even top cuts Worlds.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
More or less was the truth. Yeah,
I can't remember who. Patrick Connor, won NAIC, right?
Yeah.
And he did that with Calyrex Ice Rider. Yeah. So it still made the finals, but God, it was such a bad finals last year. It really was.
I said that about Arabago going into Brisbane. I said whoever's bringing Arabago is going to have such an uphill battle because everyone's flowcharted against it. Like, I think Shohei was able to do so well with it because he's drastically changed a lot of spreads on the teams that throws off a lot of people's flowcharts. But I think because it won Worlds and that now that Reg G's come back, we're playing a regionals with the Worlds winning team in it.
Yeah.
Everyone's prepared for it. Everyone's had so much practice against it. That team's all over the showdown ladder. Everyone knows how to play against it. And I think it's the same thing for the NAIC winning team is by the time Worlds rolls around, there's 2 or 3 months in between where people are just like, this is a team we need to practice against.
Yeah. Arabago Miraidon is just that strong. They have the tools, and if they make the calls, sometimes, if you're not right, you're just going to lose anyway, even if you know like how to play against it.
Yeah.
It's too good.
The multipliers are just manic.
Out of this world.
I mean, I played a bit of Reg-I today.
Hit us.
Very productive day at work. Got ranked 2 on the ladder.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
What were you running?
Maridon Kalia. Then went into a meeting and drastically dropped. But I think I versed like the username Teen Spirit, who's like very well up there now.
I'm pretty sure it's Devon.
Is it?
From America, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Someone very good. They dismantled me. They're either using Koraidon or Swordfish. I forget.
Swordfish is interesting. I did wonder if that was going to make a comeback.
I think it could.
Zacian, I feel like, is definitely going to make a comeback now that it's not hogging this soul restricted spot. I think it's a very good Pokemon that was not quite good enough to be your one restricted.
Yeah.
But it's very complimentary.
I do like the meme that Dan shared of Zacian and Reggie Drago talking to Calyrex Shadow Rider, being like, "Hey, me and my partner really
Saw
dig your
you from
vibe.
across the bar. We dig your vibe."
Yeah, will we see Calyrex Shadow with Zacian up there?
It's possible.
I mean, Reggie Drago basically performs like a restricted.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
It performs a similar role to CSR, yeah.
I really like the Steel Fairy Dragon triangle.
Yes,
It's like my favorite one.
Fantasy core.
Yeah, it was so good. But
When I started playing VGC, one of the really old hands from Perth, Lionel Price, told me that when I build a team, I should have a Firewater Grass core and a Dragon Steel Fairy core. And to this day, whenever I'm building a team, when I'm trying to figure out what mon to put in, I think which of those 6 types am I missing and try to incorporate
what
it.
would Lionel do?
Just works. Yeah, it
Six
just
oddish.
works.
It works, yeah. less relevant now because I can kind of like, you've got Terra. So I can just have like a Terra water and it kind of functions the same way. But
hey, Ma, look, I've got my Watermon.
I remember when it was like, what?
it's Calyrex, that's right.
It was like Salamence Gardevoir Metagross. Oh, the good old days. The fantasy core.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some bunch of crazy stuff happening, and it's even harder now with the April Fool's sprites.
You know you can turn it off, right?
Yeah, I know, but
But why would you?
the COD hit markers and the chat is just so
they're
funny.
pretty-
Chat, I think that's the first time they've done anything
Yeah.
like that, right? But like whenever you get crit, and it's just like buy our crit insurance DLC.
Oh, you needed that mod? Here's a buy a revival or something.
Buy a max revive DLC for $9.99.
Yeah.
Click here.
And if you haven't taunted them on, please do. It's so funny.
that.
It's so good. It's like a different one each time.
What was what does it say instead of like but it failed? It's the opposing Sam was sent to use protect. That did not go as planned.
That did not go as planned.
Should play a Womp Womp audio cue. That'd be funny.
So it's actually got COD hit markers like that.
It doesn't make the noise, but
It does a little animation.
Yeah. Apparently, Earthquake shakes your whole screen as well.
Yeah,
Jared was saying.
it does that
Saying.
every year.
I haven't been on Showdown because work's fucked, but
How long do they do it for? About a week usually, right?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was just one day.
Is
it just
Is
one day?
I'm pretty
I
sure
swear it
it's-
was longer.
I could have sworn it lasts.
Maybe
a
I've
little
just
bit.
gotten sick of it after one day.
you like
One day and then you turn it
off.
off.
Yeah. I like to see all the new stuff they've done. Like, all right, now I don't know what this person's selecting. I need to change it.
Yeah, it's so hard to see.
Yeah, it's such good fun though.
Yeah.
So shout out to the people who do Showdown because that's always just such a good time.
Yeah, shout out to Wobbuffet having a sense of humor. Because a lot of people
The Boba Fett for TPCI CEO, please.
And for fucking like getting it on the ladder immediately as it was announced.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
The turnaround.
I was like, as soon as Showdown like puts the ladder up, I'm going to start practicing, and people are like, it's already up.
Immediately
What?
up, yeah.
I reckon he just had like 3 or 4 options, and he's like, "Which one? Which one do I push?"
Red guy
Yeah.
if it's bands, red guy if it's double restricted. Yeah.
They should just hire him to make champions, man.
Honestly, yeah.
Just fix the Torkoal eject pack
No, just leave
interaction.
it.
Just leave that.
Have that like be the new mechanic.
Yeah.
I don't want it working.
It's not even that relevant, really. Often, is it?
No, when's the last time you saw that on cart?
It was
When
back with Marco's son.
I was going to say probably when Jared does it.
Well, actually, a lot of Japanese players qualified with Eject Pack Smeagol Farigiraf into Specs Kyogre. So it is
Okay.
It is still relevant in best of one, I would say.
So that's like trick rooming.
Yeah, Trick Room Farigiraf, and then Like you like fake out or follow me with
Fake out or
Smeagol,
follow me or Spore.
Trick Room, and then you get a free switch to your Specs Kyogre.
Moody.
And they've also got Psychic Fangs on the Frugraph. So if you
To
try to
break
set,
shit.
a light screen,
Yeah.
they're just Psychic Fangs.
You're just
What
speaking
about
my
us?
GC team, Alister.
Yeah, it's really deadly. So Eject Packs, is kind of around, but not as much as it was in like Reg H.
My favorite part of that is they've half the time got a safety goggles on their Farigiraf and then ally switch.
Oh, oh God. Yeah.
Terra water spout.
I was about to say that doesn't even kill a Mungus, but with Specs it probably does, right?
It does a lot.
Does a fuck ton.
Yeah.
And then, Specs it. You're not clicking Protect next turn, but you can take it out with Fangs for sure.
Or you can just roll the dice if you get another ally switch. Since it's not guaranteed anymore.
It's got
That's right.
fail counters now, yeah.
It's the same as Protect,
It's
right?
a double
third.
Protect, basically.
Yeah.
So it goes down to 30% and then 12%.
Which I didn't know. I just hit all my doubles when I was using that, like all those regs ago. I was like, fuck yeah, go Cresselia.
You're like, why do people not like this strategy anymore? It's foolproof.
Friend of the show, Joe Clapham, just sent me a screenshot from Showdown of some poor kid who recently encountered who's probably picked up Zamazenta now that it's very popular and has discovered the interaction between Wide Guard and Protect. So if I may read out the chat log, sorry, give me a sec. The opposing Zamazenta used Protect. Things did not go as planned. Jared says, whoopsie. His opponent says, question mark. Why did Protect fail, though? Jared said, Wide Guard stacks the Protect counter, to which his opponent says, that's so idiotic. Whoever did that needs to be sacked. Jared said, it's kind of balanced to TBH, to which his opponent says, no, question mark. It completely ruins the balance of the move. The entire point of Wide Guard is that it doesn't fail. My friend, I think you'll find the entire point of Wide Guard is to protect your team from spread thirds.
This guy's in for a rude awakening when he learns that it used to fail consecutively.
Yeah,
XY.
Yeah.
I'm sad that they buffed that because fuck, with Zamazenta existing, they need to regress back to the fail chance. Fucking hell.
One of my favorite things though is just like locking into the Wide Guard while your opponent's like, they won't click Wide Guard again. They need to take a KO. Like, Wide Guard.
It's those reads are such a fucker. That's why I hate Zamazenta so much, is because it very much just can be like it's going to Wide Guard or it is going to just like body press and annihilate you.
Yeah.
Too much damage from a bulky mon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like your spread moves, don't you, Mark?
I'm a big fan of my spread moves. I'm going to have to start running Feint Tinkerton again. But I can't even feint the Calyrex because it's a ghost type.
Oh yeah.
You need a scrappy feint.
Yeah.
Also.
I was gonna say, what gets Feint and Scrappy? I'm pretty sure Flamigo does.
Yes.
And he gets Wide Guard. I'll run my own Wide Guard. Fuck your Calyrex, Shadow Rider.
Get Wide Guard in prison.
Does anything get both of those moves?
Gallade does.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, that was quick off the tongue.
I've been ADHD.
I've been using Feint Gallade recently.
Gallade, unfortunately, probably folds to a single body press anyway, right? Like
Yeah.
it's resisted, but it's also frail as fuck on the physical side.
60 base defense.
Yeah, 60 or 65,
Yeah. Because I think not the GC just gone, but the previous one I had to Gallade. I think I got Gallade team from you. No?
I don't think so.
Oh, what was it?
Did you get
It was Chris's. It was Chris's.
Oh, gay room.
Gay room.
Gay room. Yeah.
Of course.
With the hyperspace hole Smeagol, which
I can't wait. I can't wait until Chris opens a gay bar in Perth called the Gay Room, and then hyperspace hole is what they've labeled the hole in the bathroom.
If you go to the gay room, you'll be like, oh, hi, Mar.
Oh, good, the room. Yeah, very funny.
Thank you. And it's your name.
Yeah, it is. When James Franco did The Disaster Artist, and that movie became very popular and kind of shed a lot of light on the original The Room, everyone started saying to me. Like everywhere I went, people was like, oh, hi, Mark. And I was like, oh, it's funny because it's from that movie and that's my name.
Look, as someone who also has a memed name, I feel your pain.
Yeah.
We need a support group.
Honestly.
I'm not going to remind you if you're thinking about it.
I know what it is.
Yeah, don't remind him.
I don't.
Good.
I don't either.
Excellent.
I'm just thankful like my name isn't that common.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to like remind you of the trauma you got, damn, but like, damn, Daniel,
Oh, no.
back at it again with the white bands.
That one.
Do you not remember that?
Is that a Vine?
Damn, Daniel.
What? They went on Ellen. Come on.
Who went on Ellen?
The people who made that shitty meme.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that. That was probably worse than getting oh hi Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I own a pair of white vans.
I'm surprised you didn't throw them out when that bullshit started.
Honestly.
Very good. Well, we'll begin to wrap up this episode of the O2 Drop. I hope you have enjoyed finding out what Australia does at our regionals and some of the plans for Reg-I. It'll be very interesting to see how it develops. Again, thank you, Alister, so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
On 4 hours' notice.
Yeah. Almost any time if I'm free. Happy to come on again. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're interested in supporting this podcast and listening to Alister's opinions on which Pokemon is better than another one, consider subscribing to our bonus content where we are continuing our journey to find the best Pokemon in Generation 9. If you check us out on Twitter at the O2drop_VGC. In our bio, you'll find a link to our Buzzsprout page where you'll find a button to help you subscribe. For only $3 American per month, you can help support this podcast. Join our Discord server where Alister will be kicking off our 4th game of Mafia. We have plans for a draft league, basically after NAIC. Our first draft league in the O2 Drop Discord server will kick off. Some excellent not safe for work
Adults only.
Adults only memes get posted there, and just general discourse, gaming chat, all the good stuff. We hope to see you there if you are interested.
Yeah, and the draft league is what Reg H with Mythicals. So
H with Mythicals.
It's going to be so weird.
yeah,
I think is what they're building. Yeah. I think Bradford, one of our subscribers, and Jared, the ADHD diff, are helping to build the ranking system for that. So it's all fair and balanced, but it should be a good time. Draft leagues are always a hoot. Any final shout outs, gents?
Shout out the 5 guys who made day 2. Shout out to everyone who came up to us and said hello, who watched our shitty video, who took a sticker, who didn't throw the rubbish on the floor. Hope to see you in Melbourne. That was a lot of fun. It's always fun seeing new interstate friends.
Yeah, I'm basically the same. Shout out to everyone who came up and said hi. Special mention to James Katz, who after rinsing me in round 2 was just like, oh, by the way, I love the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Get on it.
Shout out, Cats.
Yeah. And yeah, just shout out to everyone I came up against during Brisbane. You were all great opponents. So thank you for that.
Shout out to Nick
Except the
Khan
person running
for going to the
Dozer
event.
wheezing. Fuck you.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sorry, yeah, shout out Nick Khan for also going to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Since that's our running bit, we always have to mention him now.
That is true. I
Love
think
you,
he
Nick
genuinely
Khan.
did come top 32.
I think I saw his name in there. Any shout outs from yourself, Alister?
I didn't get to say this before, but I just want to give extra congrats to Diego for taking the regional. I've seen him play. I've been around for a while, and the first time I saw him was 2018. So, to have kept playing all this time and finally get a first place, he must be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Congratulations, man. So,
Yeah,
good
so
on
it's
you.
been a 6-year grind. So,
Yeah.
yeah, can't even imagine how that must feel right now.
He's gone to Disneyland.
Yeah, boy. Until next time, friends.
I was interviewing the kid who came second. Who's one of Ashley's mates, apparently, because they probably went to kindergarten together. And like, fuck, he's young, 16 years old, only just aged up, came second. And
Oh, is that? No way.
Yeah.
Josh Sunderland Smith.
I knew he was young, but I didn't quite figure out how young.
I don't think I mentioned his age on
His
the
first year.
Yeah, but I did kind of mention it was his first year. Well, and it was also, I think, because he didn't come from seniors, that was like his first regional,
First regional.
Yeah.
which was kind of huge.
Huge. Yeah.
But he said, like, in the interview, Zama's not a fraud.
Yeah.
And if he was a bit older, I would have said, if it's not a fraud, why didn't you win? But I was just kind of like, no, this is a child. I'm not going to do that.
Don't want to ruin his life.
Why didn't you beat the world's top 8 player, child?
Yeah.
You fucking suck.
Man, you should have heard what was Lewis Tam was saying about him at the airport. Fuck, it was funny. Really? What was that? He's just like, he was trying to give me lines that all these things didn't matter. And he's just like, no, they're wrong. They did matter. Poor Lewis.
Oh my God.
It was funny though, because I interviewed both him and Diego. And in the interview, I asked about the game, and the kid was just like, yeah, the matchup was really 50-50, it just kind of came to like plays and everything. And I interviewed Diego, and Diego's like, that was a really, really hard matchup for me. That's a really strong matchup for the Samazenta.